This is an open public meeting of the Neptune Township Board of Education. In accordance with Chapter 231, Public Law of 1975, adequate advance written notice of the meeting was made by posting the schedule of meetings in the main floor lobby of the Board of Education Administrative Offices and by delivery to the Asbury Park Press, the Coaster, and the Neptune Township Municipal Clerk. Advance electronic notice has been made on the district's website consistent with bylaw 0164.6. In order to abide by the Open Public Meetings Act, Board of Education members may use their digital devices to follow agenda, report out from meetings, and to view agenda background materials, but not to communicate with each other or anyone outside of the meeting. Fire exits are located in the direction indicated. In case of fire, you will be signaled by bell and/or public address system. If so alerted, please move in a calm, orderly fashion to the nearest exit. Postings have been placed on the bulletin board for everyone's use. Please do not remove the postings. You may obtain free copies of the documents from the district website or by writing the Board of Education office. During the public session of this meeting, parties having comment are requested to address the president. The public is advised that in accordance with bylaw 0168, an unofficial audio recording of this meeting is being made. Pursuant to state statute NJSA 26:3D17 and Neptune Township Board of Education Policy Regulation 7434, no smoking is permitted on Board of Education property. As a reminder, Neptune Township School District is a community for all learners where we value opportunity, diversity, and accountability. Ms. Della Sala, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris?
Here.
Ms. Hoffman? Here. Mr. Hubbard?
Here.
Ms. Jones?
Here.
Ms. Morgan?
Excused.
Here. Here. Ms. Thompson? Here. Mr. West?
Here.
Ms. Jackson?
Here.
Madam President?
Thank you. Please also note administration is present. At this time, we would like to join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. Please join us in standing and saluting the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So good evening again, everyone. As is our custom, we will open with our student government remarks by Ms. Rosie Cole.
Thank you. There we go. All right. So for our student activities, our art student of the month is Argentina Silvestre for her visual arts projects. Our athletes of the month are Piper Calfin and Dominic O'Neill, both for soccer. And our writer of the month is Guy Balisage. And our ROTC cadets of the month for Naval Science 1 is Cadet and Seaman Apprentice Mia Gunn. And for Naval Science 2, it is Cadet Petty Officer 3rd Class Gabriel Liebang and Cadet Chief Brianna Blanc. Our regular students of the month are freshmen Esther Tapia Estrada, sophomore Carl Hunter, junior Selena Miguel Cruz, and our senior Megan Saunders. For our sports updates, the girls soccer team are co-division champions of B Central. In addition, Ellie Gomez, Allison Reynolds, Piper Calvin, Stella Curto, Megan Rogers, and Madison Ellis have all been selected for the all-division team for B Central. In boys soccer, Harin Moreno and Hunter Reynolds were all voted Division B Central. In field hockey, Rafaela Strin was nominated as top freshman in New Jersey, Morgan Martinez Stewart was named as Shore Conference Defensive Player of the Week, and Claire Browning and Jewel Lucian were nominated as Shore Conference Player of the Year. The football team are the Shore Conference Class D North champions. They will play in round 1 of the NJSIAA tournament on Friday at Hopewell Valley. In addition, Coach Sieber and the coaching staff were named the New York Giants Coach of the Week, and Coach Sieber was named the Gatorade Coach of the Week. And in other news, peer leaders have been undergoing training to prepare for upcoming student workshops. Members of the Student Council attended the NJASC Fall Convention, and the Fall Musical will take place November 14th and 15th.
Okay, thank you. Lots going on in the schools. We will now move to our showcase. We are happy to have our students from Green Grove Elementary School. At this time, we'll turn the program over to Principal Kelly.
Charlie.
Got it.
Good evening, Board of Education, Central Office staff, and families, but most importantly, our students. Tonight, we have a group of third graders from Miss Pasanello's class and a group of fifth graders from Miss Tatata's class that are going to be reading to you their recent writings in class. I'm going to ask Miss Pasanello to come up first to just explain real quickly what the goals of the lesson was and what the objectives of the lesson was. Miss Pasanello.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mrs. Pasanello. I am a third grade teacher at Green Grove. I have some of my fabulous students here. We've been working on our personal narratives. We finished it up as our first writing piece of the year. They worked really, really hard on them, adding lots and lots of details, using dialogue, using transition words, and separating their ideas in their personal narrative into complete paragraphs. So they're going to each share just a paragraph from their piece that they all chose. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Go ahead, Lance.
You want to bring them from
Yeah, you know what?
front of the lectern?
Come over here so you guys a little bit.
So we can see them.
Yeah.
We want to be able to see them.
My name is Lance, and my story is about a roller coaster, but it's mostly called the Disney Dash. Have you ever went to Dubai? It was amazing. So we were walking in the desert, then we got in the car, then it drive. Also the sand was bumpy. And when I'm saying when I'm saying it's bumpy, I actually mean like there are rocks in the sand because we were in the desert. It was so much fun, but the car was white, and when the car started, you might feel all the bumps. There are 7 seats, and it went sideways and up and down.
Stop rolling.
My name is Oriana, and I'm thinking about my 8th birthday. It was before my birthday. We went to pick up my 2 cousins and we went to pizza. We were at Pizza Hut. We went to get the pizza. It was not a long drive. It was not a long wait. My name is Dana, and my piece is about my cousin's birthday party. I wake up to my grandma cooking breakfast. When I went in the kitchen, I couldn't see what she was cooking for breakfast. But when I asked her what she was cooking, she said, "Come closer into the kitchen and you will see." So I went closer and closer into the kitchen, and then I finally saw what she was cooking. My name is Logan, and I'll be reading to you about my summer vacation. Then it was time to get ready. We brushed our teeth, took showers, and got dressed. While we were doing all that, my mom searched up what the water park was called. We were pretty late because Leah was still sleeping. Later, we finally got ready. I got in the car. I'm reading about William's soccer game. It was a hot day in the fall. I was dying to get in the shade. When my friends were sending me crosses, I did a backflip and hit the ball. But it hit crossbar, sad. Hi, my name is Aubrey, and today I'm going to be saying all about my trip to Milwaukee. Next, we went to security. We saw a lot of people there. We had to stay in line for 30 minutes. It was a long. Then we finally got out of line, then put my phone in my mom's phone. My mom had to take off her shoes off also. Hi, my name is Imani, and I'll be telling you guys a story about my 8th birthday. We went in my mom's car. We was going to Skydiving. While we was driving, we listened to music. We arrived at Sky Zone. Yay, I can't wait until my next birthday.
Great job, Mrs. Passanello. Good evening, my name is Donna Catata. I teach 5th grade at Green Grove School. First, I want to say thank you to the families for bringing your students tonight. I truly appreciate that. Like Mrs. Passanello's class, we've been working on personal narratives as well. We just finished up. So when the students read, they will be reading a part of their personal narrative as well. We practice writing with details, expression, and a lot of dialogue. So enjoy.
My name is Liam and I'm writing a personal narrative about the first time I skied. It is a beautiful day, the snow is glistening, I'm walking to the window. This is the day I'm going to be brave. I thought to myself, when I got my skis, I walked to the bunny hill, which is the easiest trail, because I'm learning. I hear other people talking to each other, but I stay focused. I get to the top of the hill and I'm really scared, but I feel confident and I could do it. I strap on my skis and I ski down the hill. Everything is going great until boom. I hit the skis hard and my face is stinging. I'm trying to get up, but my skis are backwards. Thankfully, my dad comes on by and picks me up. I fix my skis and keep on going, and I do not fall again.
My name is Bianca Fenelon, and this is my story. It was a Sunday afternoon at Disney World. I was there with my parents, my siblings, and my cousins. We saw a roller coaster that I wanted to go on, even though I've never been on a roller coaster before. I wanted to give it a try, so I worked up the guts to go in and invited my mom and cousins. When we were next on line, I regretted wanting to go on the ride. I got on the ride overthinking like what bad things can happen to the roller coaster. Like what if it gets stuck and it goes too fast and I get sick? All of a sudden, it starts to move. The roller coaster was going left to right, left to right. I was screaming the whole ride. When it finally started to slow down, that's when I said that was the best ride I've ever been on.
My name is Christian, and I'm going to read this story when I had to get stitches. I will never forget the day I had to get stitches. One day I was playing with my cousin and my big brother. I pulled up my cousin's bonnet. Her hair looked like she got into a play with a raccoon. I was sitting on top of my dresser. She pulled me off of it, and I hit my head on the corner of the bed. And I started crying a little. It wasn't until I looked in the mirror that I saw her breathing. I started to panic. I screamed like Kevin from Home Alone. I called my mom. She said, "Oh my God, I'm coming now." She rushed home and rushed me to the ER. I was very, very scared. Then I had to wait for what seemed like 1,000 years because my mom had to say her name, my name, and her number.
Hi, my name is Austin Rivera, and my personal narrative is about when I had an allergic reaction. I will never forget the day when I went to the ER. It was a cloudy Saturday afternoon while sitting on the sofa. I started to feel sick. My dad gave me a granola bar. I ate about half of it, and about 40 minutes later, my mom looked at me and said, "What happened?" Then she said, "Why are your eyes swollen?" I said, "I don't know." My mom told my dad about what happened. We got into the car, and my dad drove as fast as he could. going past yellow lights and cutting off cars. My head was spinning like I was on a roller coaster. When we got there, my dad parked the car and we rushed inside. We had to wait in a line and when we got to the desk, he said his phone number and my name. Afterwards, a nurse took us to a bed and put a needle with medicine in my arm. My heart was beating like a drum, but I was brave. As I was laying there, I was thinking about what was going on and what I was gonna have for lunch.
Hi, my name is Mason, and this is about the time I did a backflip on my trampoline. The next day, the sun was shining bright. I went outside to try the backflip and failed miserably on my first few tries. I almost landed it, but I landed on my knee. I was happy until I realized if I landed on my knees on the ground, my knees would be broken. So I kept trying and trying and trying. It kept landing on my knee until I landed on my neck. It hurt badly, so I took another break. Then I went back outside to try again. I landed on my feet but fell. I knew there was hope that I could really do the backflip. A few dozen flips later, I realized my cousin was going low, so I need to learn how to do the backflip on my trampoline fast. Finally, after what seemed like 100 years, I landed. I was so happy, I told everyone. When my cousin came, I said, come to the trampoline. I learned how to do a backflip on the trampoline. Boing, whoosh, I landed it, and I celebrated. I will never forget that day and how I learned how to do a backflip on my trampoline.
Hello, my name is Amelia and I'll be reading the day I broke my arm. It was a very sunny afternoon at my cousin's house. My cousin and I were doing a cartwheel and I saw her run and do a cartwheel. And I wanted to try and do it too. Let me try, I said. How hard could it be? So I ran and did a cartwheel and boom, I fell on the ground. I looked at my arm and it did not look the same. I said to myself, something's wrong with my arm. My body was shaking in fear. A single teardrop was running down my cheek. My cousin ran inside and told everyone. Amelia fell and I think she broke her arm. My uncle came running to me and picked me up in fear. Amelia, said my uncle. My grandma called 911 and soon the ambulance arrived.
Thank you so much, third graders and fifth graders. And I have to tell you, as I stood back there and I listened to your stories, they were so vivid and they were so clear, and I could feel like I was part of all of your stories. I could even close my eyes right now and almost envision everything that you were going through. I also noticed there was a trend in a little scariness for a lot of parents with lifted arms and bent up knees. So let's hope all of these stories ended up in a very positive way and you ended up enjoying all of these cool experiences. Thank you so much, Mr. Thomas Pasanello, for working with you. Thank you, audience. Thank you for education. Thank you all for this evening.
Let's give our students and staff and administration another round of applause from Green Grove Public.
That was cute. In the cop's face, I tell you that. The Petty said that's what's cool.
Dr. Crater, Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Madam President. So as you can see by some of the donations up front, the NTEA and the Board of Ed and administration have joined forces to initiate a food drive in support of our families. We will be running the food drive through November 14th, and we will be dropping off those donations to the food pantries in the area.
In terms of our researching revenue sources and cost savings opportunities, now that we have the list of buildings with bonds attached to them, we have reached out to an appraiser. Mrs. Della Sala has made contact with an appraiser. We have an appointment to do that. I have contacted a consulting firm called Advocate, which is a company that helps districts find efficiencies in staffing. And we are in the process of subdividing the Early Childhood Center from Midtown in order to begin the reversion process. Board members, you see the DPRs for CUSAC on the agenda. I don't want to speak in acronyms, DPRs, district performance ratings. You'll see that a couple of those areas are low percentages. That's because some of those areas are rated or graded by the county office. So we rate as much as we are allowed to, and then we turn that into the county office. We have begun to look at the 26-27 calendar. Believe it or not, it's October of 25, and we're still looking ahead. The AI Advisory Committee will be probably ready for an action plan and policy by December. We thought we would have that by October, but it is taking us a little longer than we thought. And just as a reminder, November 14th and 15th, our Scarlet play, not our Scarlet Sound play, our drama club will be presenting Songs for a New World at the Michael T. Lake Performing Arts Center. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Dr. Crater. Mr. Hubbard, can you move our minutes, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve the minutes of the work session of September 22nd, 2025, and regular meeting of September 24th, 2025. So move.
Second. It's been moved by Mr. Hubbard, seconded by Ms. Jones. Board members, any questions? Ms. Della Sala, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris?
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman?
Aye.
Mr. Hubbard?
Aye.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Perrier?
Aye.
Ms. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. West?
Aye.
Ms. Jackson?
Aye.
Madam President.
Thank you, Ms. Della Sala. We'll move into our public forum. Oftentimes, it may appear to members of our audience that the Board of Education takes action with very, very little comment, and in many cases, by unanimous vote. Before a matter is placed on the agenda at a public meeting, administration has thoroughly reviewed the matter with the superintendent of schools. If the superintendent of schools is satisfied that the matter is ready to be presented to members of the Board of Education, it is then referred to the appropriate board committee. The members of the board committee work with administration and the superintendent to assure that members fully understand the matter. If the committee is satisfied with the matter, it is presented to the Board of Education for discussion before any final action is taken. Only then is it placed on an agenda for action at a public meeting. All personnel motions are at the recommendation of the superintendent. All agenda postings are available for public. In rare instances, matters are presented to the Board of Education for discussion at the same meeting where final action may be taken. Time will be allotted now for public comment. Each speaker will be given a maximum of 3 minutes when recognized by the presiding officer. Individuals wishing to address the board shall be recognized by the presiding officer and shall give their names, address, and group, if any, that they represent. Although the board encourages public participation, it reserves the right, through its presiding officer, to terminate remarks to and/or by any individual not in keeping with the conduct of a proper and efficient meeting. The board will not respond to questions during the public portion of this meeting involving the employment, appointment, termination of employment, negotiations, terms and conditions of employment, evaluation of the performance of, promotion or disciplining of any specific prospective or current employee. The floor is now open for public comment. You can just come forward to the microphone.
That's before Henry Muller. Hope I didn't just buy that. Henry Muller, 338 Glenmere Avenue in Neptune. I'm not really going to be the one talking to you tonight. A good friend of mine, I grew up with Tommy here at Neptune. Grew up over the college streets. And he's unable to speak, but he's been watching the meetings on.
Closer to the microphone.
He's been watching the meetings on Zoom streaming and wanted to come, and he'd love to get up here and speak for himself, but he's unable to, and it'll be clear. So he wrote a statement and he asked me if I would read it here. at the meeting for him as an opportunity for him to speak. My name is Tommy Libby. I reside at 339 Victor Place in Neptune. In January 22, I was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, commonly referred to as ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease. I was told my life expectancy was an average of 2 to 5 years. I am now entering my 4th year with ALS. At the time of the diagnosis, my wife and I resided in another town. We had to sell our home in 22 and decided to purchase a ranch-style home in Neptune because of the reasonable home value and reasonable taxes. I had to spend an additional $80,000 of my personal savings to adapt the home to accommodate my condition. This disease has caused us to absorb an unexpected major financial hit. I also want to mention that I grew up in Neptune, graduated from Neptune High School, and he just mentioned to me he's an alumni of Green Grove School as well. So I plan on residing in my residence until the Lord calls me home. Now I am not sure I will be able to stay in my home. The recent dramatic increase in school tax levy has had a significant impact on me as a disabled, retired person living on a fixed income. While I understand that funding our schools is important for maintaining quality education, supporting local families, the increase in property taxes has placed an additional financial strain on my limited budget. Every dollar matters when managing medical costs, utilities, and daily living expenses, so even a small tax hike can make it hard to make ends meet. I support investing in our community's future, but I also hope the board understands the challenges faced by seniors and disabled residents who are already struggling to keep up with rising costs. In closing, I understand about the New Jersey State Anchor Tax Rebate and other 2 programs to help offset my taxes. However, these programs are not guaranteed year to year. I'm asking you, the Neptune Township Board of Education, to please take immediate steps to reduce the tax burden on myself and my fellow citizens in Neptune Township so I can rest in peace until the Lord comes calling. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Muller, for representing Mr. Libby, and thank you, Mr. Libby, for coming out tonight. If you would like to speak, please come forward.
Hi, my name is Eric Meyer. I reside at 8 Olive Street, Neptune, New Jersey. I, like many people, are here tonight because our tax bills went up tremendously. We are, I'm a teacher myself. I'm on my 16th year. I make $40K a year at a Catholic school. I don't make much. These taxes are just out of control. And I, when I was watching the students tonight, I was thinking to myself, if I were to give them a writing prompt, asking them about, because I teach social studies and about taxes, and I would just be curious to hear what my students have to say. And I probably will give them this assignment later in the year about how they may feel about taxation and just all the types of taxes that we have to face here, not only in New Jersey, but in the whole country. And if it's okay to, take such large portions of people's hard-earned money. And I know it might be difficult to make certain cuts and such. I know there's a lot of news stories out now. Montclair stands out to me quite a bit, having to fire like hundreds of teachers and such. But at the same time, the alternative is putting a burden on us, and it doesn't feel as though there's any equity as far as we're concerned. I feel as though many of the residents here are being dealt the burden, and I feel that myself and many people I know are feeling sort of suppressed and held down by having money getting taken and taken and taken constantly. And I know it may not be easy to cut staff or try to combine schools or what. I don't know all the answers myself. I'm not here claiming that I do know all the answers, but I just do hope as a school board, you guys get together and try to do what's right, you know, and try to lessen the burden on us so that we can keep our hard-earned money, because it is, at the end of the day, it's our hard-earned money. And I feel like my 40K a year is not great, and it's not easy for me to afford to live here. So that's pretty much all I want to say.
Thank you.
My name is Joanne McCormick, 16 Sarian Drive, Neptune, New Jersey. I was here August 27th. And I let you know.
Excuse me,
that
ma'am.
when I.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Ma'am, you're talking to the board, you're not talking to.
No, I want to talk to everybody, if that's okay.
That's not the rule.
I was here on August 27th. And I let you know that I have a choice. I have a choice at the end of this year between medical insurance for me or the taxes. The one thing I didn't say, the one thing I didn't think I had to say, is that in 2022, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. In December, that will be my last mammogram because I can't afford it. I will be paying for everybody in Neptune Township to have medical insurance, but I can't have it. I read in the newspaper in the beginning, Asbury Park Press, in the beginning of 2024, that the municipality entity of Neptune Township was having a party. And they were having a party on the sales tax revenue from Zenleaf. And that us, as property taxpayers, were going to see a decrease. When I received my bill in 2024, okay, well, I got to figure it out, you know? 2025, my bill went up $3,000, and I had to come up with $1,000 in 3 weeks, okay? We definitely have a problem here in Neptune. We have one entity, the municipality, not my tax. Oh, I only do 27%, not my tax. And we have the other entity who is going to tax me to death. You know, and you get upset because I'm upset. This is my life. That's what you took from me with your pen. You took away my life.
Hello, everyone. Karen Mason, Cardinal Road, Neptune. So from what I understand, oh boy.
We're having mic issues.
From what I understand, you have people now that you're contacting or contracting to look at the buildings to see what can be sold. Is that what I'm understanding from before when you first opened up about the agenda? I'm just trying to understand.
You can speak your entire statement. We're not answering questions that we already addressed.
Okay. So one of the things that is very baffling to me, I mean, I'm not on the board, I'm not a teacher, but when the student ratios, student percentages go down so much, let's just start with the high school. I'm confused. All of the teachers, and I'm sure it's very difficult to fire anyone, but why would you need all of the same amount of teachers, if the ratio has gone down? It's now 39% of what could house 2,800 students in the high school. It's confusing. It doesn't equate that there's been no loss of teachers. It's baffling. It just doesn't make sense. And I'm sure you're going to be working on the 2026 budget because you need to. But hopefully you'll have some insights into people that maybe it needs to be downsized. It doesn't make sense. Are all of these teachers working when there's so many less students in all of the schools? I just, I've looked at this, I've looked at the numbers, I've tried to understand it. I've had businesses. Sometimes we just have to make sacrifices. And I don't feel that this board has made enough sacrifice. And unfortunately, all of the people of Neptune are paying for that. We've had to make sacrifice, everybody in this room. And especially if you're a senior, I mean, we're all on a budget. Most people are on a budget whether they're a senior or not. But I'm baffled. I don't understand the thought, the thinking, when you're looking at a budget. Less students, same amount of teachers. I don't understand it. If someone can explain that to me, I would certainly appreciate it.
We invite you to look at our prior board meetings where Dr. Crater and myself extensively addressed the cuts that were made in the district. We're not going to go back and forth on that. You can look at the August meeting, you can look at the September meeting, and you can look at our budget meeting. Thank you for your comment. You might want to tape that microphone. That microphone is having a rough night.
Yes, especially since everybody's so short. My name is Maureen Eng, 8 Vernon Avenue. I spoke 2 meetings ago. My concerns about taxes are well noted. But I have a question tonight. I have the documents in front of me, and I see that there was an approved appointment for Vincent Caravello for a business administrator, but it's also the same title that Rosemary has. And I wondered if this was a duplicate or if she resigned or retiring, because there was no mention in this. It might have happened a few months ago, but that's my question.
Thank you for your question. As previously noted, Ms. De La Sala is retiring as of December 31st, 2025. Thank you for your comment. Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
Can you stand that we can put up?
Good evening, everybody. Oh, if this is staying or not. My name is Paul Zapka, 85 Pilgrim Pathway, Ocean Grove. I was going to read a statement about civility because I think we need to get there. A lot of the posts that have been put out there on social media, they're getting uglier and uglier, and I would still like to read that post. But before I do that, I do want to make a statement about the cuts. And I know you said go back and look at the minutes, but I want to point out that whatever cuts were made, not one single dollar came out of the operating budget. The budget continued to increase year over year. And you heard a lot of stories here about sad stories about people in their homes. And that's why I want to read the statement too. I mean, let's keep this discussion polite and civil. We should respond by sticking to facts. There's rumors out there about defunding the schools. I mean, what kind of crap is that? Nobody's talking about defunding the schools. One person's trying to position it as it's a Doge thing. It's not a Doge thing. It's not an issue that's being pushed by disgruntled seniors who have no children in the schools or rich, angry white people, nor is it being addressed with no concern for how it impacts the kids. Most people here want to help the kids. We want to see improvements, right? So concerns are being vocalized, young and old, people with, without kids, people of all races, homeowners, renters, people of all economic means. We're all affected. Nobody could budget for a 48% increase over 2 years. I don't care how much money you make or how little money you make, right? Affordability is a bipartisan issue. It affects everyone, young and old, poor, middle class, comfortable, homeowners, renters, right? People are now being forced to move. You heard some of the stories. They have to leave what they believe to be their forever home. They have to make hard choices in their home budgets in an attempt to stay, not uproot their families, young and old. They're being forced to leave good friends. They're being forced to leave community support networks, right? They have to start fresh somewhere. And your struggles to improve the academic performance, it's well documented, and we empathize, right? But we're failing students and we're failing parents in the community if we don't improve the math and reading skills. And I was happy to hear Dr. Crater ask for help on that at the homeowners meeting. And there was this offering of a reading buddies thing. So I just want to say and conclude here, facts are politically agnostic. They're non-political. There's no need to vision this or view it in any way through a political lens, right? If we want to discuss the veracity of data, we should do that in a polite and civil manner. So let's keep it to the point. And thank you for listening to me. I hope we work together to find solutions.
Thank you for your comment. And this board has not engaged in any of the incivility that you reference on social media.
No.
It's unfortunate that people choose to get their news from social media. People choose to put things on social media that are inappropriate, not fact-based. So we welcome you saying that we should be dealing with facts because that's what we deal with on this board. Thank you for your comment. Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with the board tonight. My name is Lou Manzione, and I'm a homeowner and full-time resident of Ocean Grove for the past 9 years. I'm a retired engineer and a former dean of engineering. I've worked with a lot of high schools on STEM initiatives. I would love to work with Neptune at some time on STEM. My wife is a retired New Jersey public school teacher. So you'll not find a family more dedicated to public education than we are. But our property taxes went up 40% this past year. It added nearly $6,000 to our retiree fixed income. It's indefensible to ask hardworking families and retirees to pay such increases. When we hear that the enrollment has declined by as much as 25%. These much higher taxes have a profound effect on the home's value, as prospective buyers could either afford to pay real estate taxes or mortgage. My estimate is that the value of our home, now carrying this extra burden of real estate tax, has dropped by $85,000 at today's mortgage rates. Multiply this by the hundreds of homes affected by these steep increases in real estate taxes, and you begin to see the damage that is being done across Neptune. The word is out to prospective buyers to stay away from Ocean Grove, Neptune, because real estate taxes are soaring. I urge you to make the hard decisions to lower costs because irreparable damage is being done to this community. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Is there anyone else who would like to be heard? Public comment is now closed. Mrs. Hoffman, can you give us our operation, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Our operations committee met on October 14th at 4:30 p.m.
I'm not sure your microphone's on.
There you go.
Bring it forward.
The operation committee.
Move it closer.
There you go. Operation committee met. Not picking it up, is it?
Yeah, it is. Go ahead.
October 14th at 4:30. We discussed the budget. The budget discussion will begin with various departments for the 26-27 budget. The food service department completed the verification report on October 1st, which is the basis for the percentage of verified free and reduced applications. Discussions continue with Jersey Shore University Hospital regarding the leasing of land as temporary parking while they are undergoing construction. The SBA has provided this district with bond debt on all of the district's buildings. the district has received notification of eligibility for the emergency and capital maintenance funds of $1 million. The Transportation Department is working on the district report of transportation students for the October 15th snapshots. That is it for the report.
Board members, any questions? Okay, can I get someone to move our finance item? Vice President Thompson, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve items recommended by the superintendent under finance as per document B1, items 1 through 10. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice President Thompson. I think it was seconded by Ms. Puryear.
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Della Sala, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris?
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman?
Aye.
Mr. Hubbard?
Aye.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Puryear?
Aye.
Ms. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. West?
Aye.
Ms. Jackson?
Aye.
Madam President?
Thank you. Ms. Jones, can you move our facilities items, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve items recommended by the superintendent under facilities as per document B2, item 1. So moved.
Second.
Been moved by Ms. Jones, seconded by Mr. Hubbard. Board members, any questions? Ms. Della Sala, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris?
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman?
Aye.
Mr. Hubbard?
Aye.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Puryear?
Aye.
Ms. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. West?
Aye.
Ms. Jackson?
Aye.
Madam President?
Ms. Della Sala, we're going back. Thank you, Vice President Thompson. We omitted the superintendent's report. Ms. Harris, can you move our superintendent's report, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve items recommended by the superintendent under superintendent's report as per document A, items 1 through 10. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Mrs. Liz Harris, seconded by Vice President Thompson. Board members, any questions? Ms. Della Sala, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris?
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman?
Aye.
Mr. Hubbard?
Aye.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Puryear?
Aye.
Ms. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. West?
Aye.
Ms. Jackson?
Aye.
Madam President?
Thank you. Mrs. Hoffman, can you move our transportation item, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve item recommended by the superintendent under transportation as per document B3, item 1. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Mrs. Hoffman, seconded by Ms. Harris. Any questions, board members? Ms. Della Sala, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris?
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman?
Aye.
Mr. Hubbard?
Aye.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Puryear? Aye. Ms. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. West?
Aye.
Ms. Jackson?
Aye.
Madam President?
Report, please.
Yes, the Education Committee met on October 15th. Full committee was present. We were given our points of pride for the month. We had 2 agenda items. We had the lead program update, which kicks off November 5th. Gregory Washington is the head of the program. He is a cop at Neptune Township, and it's going to be all 5th graders in Neptune. The program will end on February the 5th. This program aligns with the SEL, PE, and health programs, and it's similar to the DARE program that we had. We also had the YMCA school-based counseling. We had 192 students serviced from all the schools. We have no kids on the waiting list. We have some curriculum adoptions that require board approval tonight. We have AP Biology and AP Physics. We have Civics grade 8, US History 1, US History 2 for grades 9 and 10. We have a library curriculum for preschool through 12th grade. The elementary school library will be weekly library lessons. The older kids will use the library curriculum when they go to the library to do special projects. That was it for the Education Committee meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Puryear. Mr. West, can you move our education special projects items, please?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Let it be resolved that the Board of Education approve items recommended by the superintendent under education/special projects as per document C1, items 1 through 2. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. West, seconded by Vice President Thompson. Board members, any questions? Ms. Della Sala, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris.
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman.
Aye.
Mr. Hubbard.
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Ms. Puryear.
Aye.
Ms. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Aye.
Ms. Jackson.
Aye.
Madam President.
Thank you, Ms. Della Sala. Ms. Puryear, can you move our special education items, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve items recommended by the superintendent under special education as per document C2, items 1 through 2. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Puryear, seconded by Vice President Thompson. Board members, any questions? Ms. Della Sala, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris.
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman.
Aye.
Mr. Hubbard. Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Ms. Puryear.
Aye.
Ms. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Aye.
Ms. Jackson.
Aye.
Madam President.
Mrs. Hoffman, can you move our student activities items, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve items recommended by the superintendent under student activities as per document C3, items 1 through 3. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Mrs. Hoffman, seconded by Mr. West. Board members, any questions? Ms. Della Sala, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris.
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman.
Aye.
Mr. Hubbard.
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Ms. Puryear.
Aye.
Ms. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Aye.
Ms. Jackson.
Aye.
Madam President.
Thank you, Ms. Della Sala. Ms. Jones, can you give us a personnel update, please?
The Personnel Committee met on October the 14th. Dr. provided updated information regarding transfers, vacant positions, and leaves of absences. The district continues to seek a teacher for the deaf, 2 special ed science positions, 2 nurses, and a business administrator. The district has interviewed for both a contractual BA and interim BA in the event that there's a gap between Mrs. Della Sala's retirement and the new BA taken over. Dr. Christina explained that there is a shortage of school nurses that has prompted school districts to hire registered nurses without the school nurse certification. We have found a registered nurse who does not have a bachelor's degree, and the district is working with the NTEA to develop a sidebar agreement related to the adjusted rate of pay for this situation. Also, by the end of the next school year, the district will be required to have a certified computer science teacher. And that's it.
Ms. Jones, can you move our personnel items, please?
No. Thank you, Madam President. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve items recommended by the superintendent under personnel as per document D1, items 1 through 28. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Jones, seconded by Mr. Hubbard. Board members, any questions? Ms. Della Sala, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris.
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman.
Aye.
Mr. Hubbard.
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Ms. Puryear.
Aye.
Ms. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Aye.
Ms. Jackson.
Aye.
Madam President.
Have Mr. Hubbard, can you move our employment item, please? The employment item, please. I will go back, I didn't have it. The employment item, please.
Be it resolved, the Board of Education approve item recommended by the superintendent under employment as per document D3, item 1. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Hubbard, seconded by Ms. Jones. Board members, any questions? Ms. Della Sala, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris.
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman.
Aye.
Mr. Hubbard.
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Ms. Puryear.
Aye.
Ms. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Aye.
Ms. Jackson.
Aye.
Madam President.
Thank you, Ms. Della Sala. Vice President Thompson, can you move our negotiations item, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve item recommended by the superintendent under negotiations as per document D2, item 1. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice President Thompson, seconded by Ms. Jones. Board members, any questions? Ms. Della Sala, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris.
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman.
Aye.
Mr. Hubbard.
Aye.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Perrier?
Aye.
Ms. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. West?
Aye.
Ms. Jackson?
Aye.
Madam President?
Mr. West, can you move our schedule of meetings, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Let it be resolved that the Board of Education approve items recommended by the superintendent under schedule of meetings. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. West, seconded by Vice President Thompson. Board members, any questions? Ms. Della Sala, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris?
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman?
Aye.
Mr. Hubbard?
Aye.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Perrier?
Aye.
Ms. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. West?
Aye.
Ms. Jackson?
Aye.
Madam President?
Board members, is there any new board business to come before the board? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion for adjournment. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Vice President Thompson, seconded by
Perrier.
Ms. Perrier. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening and be safe tomorrow. The weather is supposed to be treacherous.